So over the weekend, it was pretty interesting. Elon coming out saying a whole bunch of stuff about going to politics, even though after coming out saying that he's finished with politics. I think what's really happening here, guys, is that if he really wants to get into this stuff, I don't think, first of all, Elon will never become a politician. Let's just get that right. All right. That's the one thing that we all need to get right. He will never become a politician. He doesn't want to. He doesn't need to. Nothing. And I think he talked about him being, Elon was talking about just taking seats and stuff like that, and then getting behind a candidate and stuff like that. What we should be focused here, guys, is not the noise. We've been through this. We've been through this many times. Since 2020 till now, we gotta look at what Tesla has achieved, right? I've said this many times over and over again, and I still stand by it. I know I'll get a lot of people who disagree with me here, but I'm still gonna say it. Elon is not Tesla, and Tesla is not Elon, especially when the years go by. Right now, ask yourself this. What is Elon's role in Tesla? The dude has been away for about, for 6 months, right? He's been away for 6 months from doing Doge. What has Tesla been doing since then? Version 13, robotaxis, things have been going along without him. Now, in my point of view, I do believe that every single year that passes by, the need for Elon in Tesla diminishes. Now, of course, we need him for Optimus, and of course, if he's there, things will move a little bit more faster. But I think with robotaxi, it's already there. I think it's just about, making sure the safety's right, getting approval from other states, making sure all the issues, the small little issues, that's done. But in my point of view, robotaxi, FSD, Tesla has solved it. This is why I'm so bullish on Tesla. I get a lot of questions. Pejjy, with all this turmoil, with all this noise, with all this stuff, how do you keep your conviction this strong? Because I keep my eyes on the price. I see the progress. I see how far the full self-driving has gone. Because in my mind, this thing has been solved. I mean, you can see the videos, but it's not perfect. It's not 100%, but you guys can see the videos. The thing can do crazy stuff, especially with the guys who got invited for the robotaxi stuff. The insane things this thing can do. It's there. It's 95% there. It's there. We just need more, I think, more data so it can, do his thing, but it's there. It's finished. It's finished. And Elon said it himself a few quarters ago in earnings call, saying that, hey, if I got abducted by aliens, the robotaxi is going to go the way it is. Maybe Optimus will stall, but that's all Elon is really needed for. He's only needed there for the Optimus. Now, whatever Elon does outside of this stuff is just noise. Whether it's politics, whether it's getting into making a third party, all this stuff, I actually welcome it because I want to buy more shares on the cheap. I still want to buy more. The thing with Elon, you guys have to understand, and I know we got some speakers here. I'll let you guys speak as well. And whoever wants to come out and speak, just head a request. We're just here to have a great time. The thing with Elon is that there's one thing he's really good at doing, and that's finding the right people to run his companies. Whether it's SpaceX, whether it's X, whether it's XAI, Neuralink, Boring Company, you name it. Elon's specialty here is finding the right people to make things happen. That's it. That's Elon's specialty. Yes, he's innovative, he can take risks, but his specialty is finding the right people to gather around to build good products and services or whatever he is envisioned. That's what Elon is really good at doing. And we see it in all his companies. We see, Linda with X, I forgot her name for SpaceX CEO. We see the same thing with Neuralink. Elon has already have the personnel to run those companies. That right there, to me, in my eyes, I see Elon as like a chairman. Like, I already see him as a chairman. He has people running the company. If you can stay away from your company and run it and have this type of progress, for example, robotaxi, stuff like that, that tells me that he's not really needed. So, with him doing all this politician stuff and getting into other things tells me that this dude has time. He has time on his hands because he has the right people to run the company right. And he's there just to make sure, Elon said himself, he only visits his companies once or twice a week to go over some stuff. That sounds like what a chairman does, right? That sounds what a chairman does. That's why I'm not worried. That's why I'm bullish. That's why when I see these noises, I just buy more stock. My only, concern becomes do I have enough cash to buy more stock? That's it. So the panic and the fear everyone is saying, I understand if you've been holding for the past 5 years, no, 5 years, you'll be up 300%. For the past 4 years, and it's been sideways, I understand the pain, but you have to understand investing in Tesla was at least a decade or at least a 5-year investment. You get another year if you invested 4 years ago, right, to see some results. But a company like Tesla, an investment like Tesla is at least 5 to 10 year investment. It's an investment. It's not a quick rich, quick rich scheme. So what I'm trying to say here is that just, don't get distracted. Look at the price, look at the progress, look how fast they're going forward, and look to the next steps. Don't look at the outside noise. That has nothing to do with what Tesla's doing. It has nothing to do with it. Nothing, nothing. Some of you guys will say that, oh, well, Trump will go after Elon's companies and stuff. That's not going to happen. He's going to go after Tesla and SpaceX and all these companies that's making the U.S. a powerhouse or keeping them at number one. Like, if it wasn't for SpaceX, China would be number one in rock. If it wasn't for Tesla, the whole automotive industry would have to bend down to China. And that's with, even with Tesla now, China is still winning. So imagine if Tesla never existed. Oh man, it would have been bad. You don't want to scare away your, I guess you could call Elon your ace card. I think Trump and Elon are aligned here because look, Trump, again, it's politics. I don't like talking about politics. I love geopolitics, but when it comes to politics, it's a very dirty game. With politics, they don't care about us. They don't care about anything. They care about themselves. They care about how to, I don't want to say selfishness. They do stuff. They do things for the company, for the country. But at the end of the day, you can't trust these guys. And Trump, he's in politics. He has Congress to, please. He has all these other guys to please. I think behind the curtains, Trump does want to align with Elon. I do think so. Because his response to what Elon is doing, it doesn't seem to be, he doesn't seem to be furious like he usually is. Politics, man, don't get distracted by these politician stuff. If Trump is going to go after Elon's company, that's not going to happen. If he's going to go after Elon's companies, he has to go after everybody. That's going to be a disaster for America, really, and, American companies, which I don't think that's going to be the case. So don't get distracted. Keep your eyes on the prize. You think the employees at Tesla are looking at, oh my God, Elon has gone back to politics? No, they don't care. They do their job. That's it. You don't see any Tesla employees, complaining or writing anything on X because there's a lot of them on X. They don't, and I'm pretty sure Elon's not going to fire any of them who voices their opinion because that's free speech. If he does that, that goes against his own, his own slogan or whatever. None of them are coming out and saying anything because they don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever, man. I gotta, focus on the robotaxi, AI stuff. That's what I like to do. That's what I need to do moving forward. So that's what I gotta say. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Don't get distracted. We got speakers here: Ryan, Frank, and Bumik. If I'm not butchering. Let's start with Frank. Then we go to Ryan. Then we go to Bumik. How you doing, Frank?
Hey guys, how are you guys?
Fantastic, fantastic.
Hey, just real quick, I've been listening to Pejjy for some time. You just brought up the whole Tesla employee, and I don't want to say too much. I'm currently employed for Tesla since 2020, and you got it. You hit it spot on. We're here to make
Nice.
the team better. We're here to make the company better, regardless of the noise. We work every day hard, and we do want to we want to reach our goal basically. And so, like Pejjy said, I just want to follow up real quick. Don't get distracted, and keep your eyes on the prize for the long term.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. This is all just noise and it's Elon. Elon will do Elon things when he has free time. I think today he just commented on, I think it's Randy Kirk's post saying that, well, I mean, he said he's thinking about doing the solar thing. I mean, he shouldn't think about it. He should do it. It's Elon. Elon will do things when he sees things are necessary and when he has the free time to do it. And when he has the free time to do it is when all his companies are managed. And as you said, Frank, nobody in Tesla, and you're an employee there, nobody in Tesla is complaining or doing anything. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. Gotta get my job done. Gotta do what I gotta do. Gotta make this company the world's most valuable company. Gotta fulfill the mission statement because you guys love to do it. You guys don't care about the outside noise or anything like that. So whoever is panicking and scared needs to chill out and just look at the bigger picture. But that was good. That was awesome, Frank. Anything else you want to add before we move on to Ryan?
No, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank. That was awesome. Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, Pejjy, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
So I just had a quick question, I guess, for you personally. It's probably harder for you because, I mean, you're a creator on X and YouTube and you're covering the subject every day. But like I look at the past like 2 years when I started investing, and it's kind of funny to see that every mistake that I've made was actually an emotional decision. And I actually consider myself like pretty steady, but it seems that every like mistake I've made, whether it's selling a winner early or with options, like it always seems to be some emotional thing that I get kind of scared and I exit early or I take the loss when I don't really need to, things like that. And then honestly, I love Randy. I listen to Randy a lot. And I was actually, I was on with him for the same theory he had with selling and getting back in. And it turned out to be a mistake. I did the exact same thing and probably had close to the same like realized loss. as he did, but I got right back in, fully ported. But all that being said, I'm on X all the time and it's so bad. And I wanted to know, like, I justify all the time I spend on there and YouTube by like finding my own alpha or like just being educated. But it seems to be that like all the time that I spend on there just leads to me making emotional decisions that are kind of screwing myself in all the things I just said. So for you personally, like I wish I could just delete Robinhood and delete X and just let it ride for 5 years, but I've tried it and I just like my brain cannot let me do it. So maybe for you personally, like what do you do to kind of, I know it's tune out the noise or whatever, but like do you try to just stay off of these apps for a while, like especially in times like this, or do you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a good question, man. That's a very good question. Look, for me, I've been an investor for 11 years now. Since I was allowed to invest, I've started on day one. And the first few years when I started investing, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was buying penny stocks here and there, lose a whole bunch of money. But that wasn't the right way for me to make money through investments. That actually wasn't investing, that was gambling. I got into Tesla back in 2020, but before that, I had a portfolio where it was, I guess you could call it was diverse, but it wasn't. I mean, I was only making like 7% return every year, and I had like what 15 stocks. That was, I mean, they were good, they were paying well, but at the end of the day, I wanted something that can be life changing. With Tesla, my conviction. Now, you must have a strong conviction if you want to look past the noise, if you want to look past the feelings, if you don't want to have any emotional say into it. Now, I've learned it the hard way that in the stock market, you have to have, not just in the stock market, just investing in general, but mainly in the stock market, you have to put your feelings out the door. As soon as you bring your feelings inside, you're going to make a whole lot of bad decisions that you're going to regret later. I've learned that the hard way. So with Tesla, when I first bought my first few shares and decided to go all in, is that I had a conviction. My conviction was, and it is still today, is that robotaxis will rule the world. Robotaxis will be a thing. Full self-driving will be a thing, and it won't matter. Nothing will matter. It's just robo-taxis. That was my conviction. The autos can go to zero. The energy, I mean, I didn't even have energy or robots in my thesis. Anyways, it was all robo-taxis that I know that if you can have a car that drives themselves everywhere and turn that into a business that can potentially end car ownership, and that's now slowly becoming a thing because people are now seeing this vision, well then, guess what's going to happen? This is going to become the world's most valuable company. And that is where my eye is at. I don't care about this quarter, next quarter. I don't care what Elon does. As long as Tesla keeps on the robotaxi and doesn't abandon it. Now, if they do abandon it, that's a thesis change for me. But as long as they pursue it and they continue to progress in it, that's what keeps me in the stock. That's what keeps me, in conviction. All these other noises that happens with politics, with I don't know whatever Elon does, whatever electric and all these other stupid articles, Reuters and stuff want to talk about, whatever, affordable models, whatever, all these rumors, all these bad news, I don't care about. I'm like I don't know, someone said the other day, I'm like a stomp in the tree. Like nothing changes my mind. In fact, I embrace the bad news because I buy more on the stock because I see the conviction. I see my conviction, which is the robotaxis, which is the FSD. That is my main thesis. Now, everybody changing the thesis to optimist because that's the next big thing. But my thesis is the robotaxi. That's it. Whatever happens, I don't know, World War III, right? Flipping, I don't know, Elon does something stupid, whatever. As long as Tesla proceeds and progresses with the robotaxi stuff, I am always buying the stock. That is my conviction. That's it. So you must have a strong conviction to not let your emotions in. As soon as you let your emotions in, oh man, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And of course, use money, invest money that you don't need tomorrow or the day after. That's a big part as well, because most people, when they invest today, they use money that they think that the stock's on a 5 or 10x next month. It's money that they need. But that's a big mistake as well, because when you have money that you need, you become very anxious with it. So you become, oh man, I don't want to lose the money because I need it. But when you have an investment or a conviction or money that you don't need for the next 5 years, then you're chilling. You're chilling because you know this is a long-term investment. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that was great. I think, yeah, just, I guess, eyes on the prize. I mean, my conviction is through the roof. I sit here and tell people, anybody who will listen, I'll tell my freaking thesis and conviction to. I just had my birthday 2 days ago, and my fiance's dad went to the Tesla store and bought me the Optimus robot action figure. So it's kind of, it's It's a big part of my personality, which may be not a good thing. But yeah, thanks, Pejjy. I'll let somebody talk now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Happy birthday, by the way, man. But yeah,
Thank you.
dude. Yeah, look. Here's the thing. I tell this to everybody that hey, listen. If you're a Tesla investor and you get afraid, just watch my channel. Just watch my videos. Come to my. Nothing since 2020 till now. Whatever Elon has done, nothing. Like I've never turned or I've never, caved in or anything. Since Elon bought Twitter, he sold stock to buy Twitter and the stock went from 400 to 100. I was buying that dip when the stock went from 300, high 300s to 150 because of, I think it was Biden or something like that. I don't know what that was. I was buying that dip. For 5 years straight, I've been saying the same thing over and over again. I've been saying, keep your eye on the price. This is all noise. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. And along the way, there's been a lot of interesting that has happened, but it's looking like I'm going to be right. If you ever have doubts, you know who to go to. But
All right. Thanks, Pejjy. Thanks. I'll
that
let somebody else talk. Thank you, man.
yeah, no worries, no worries. Iman, my man, how you doing?
Hi, Pejjy. Yeah, good, thanks. Listen, I follow you for a while now on X and YouTube, of course. And I really appreciate the opportunity you're giving me to talk with you tonight because, I really appreciate your work and always enjoy listening to you and your thoughts. To be honest with you, enjoy your content overall. Thanks for the opportunity, first of all. I'm nobody on X, nobody on YouTube. I'm just another investor. What I think we have in common is that I'm all in. And more than that, I'm balls to the wall. In other words, really, the hopes that we have in the stock making our life better is very, very high. My wife and I are planning our future on that. And I'm not saying next month or the next 6 months. Just like you said, slightly long term, between 5-10 years. We're already invested in Tesla for quite a few years. We have a little bit more stock than you do. So I'm sure that you understand how we feel when we see the ups and downs. But that's about it about me, because what I would like to talk about, I think, is a couple of points that you raised that I think are very, very interesting. And I have to agree with you on some of them. And I would like to raise some of them and very interested in knowing what you have to say. So the first thing is I'd like to go back to what you said at the beginning, where one of the strong points of Elon is the capability to find the right people, and that is potentially not needed anymore in Tesla and maybe SpaceX, because he found the right people and he has the right team. And I'm absolutely in agreement with you here. I think we have great teams in those companies. And of course, talking about SpaceX as well, because it's a huge enterprise. It's something that, obviously every single American has to be proud of this company, I'm sure. But I think Elon is still needed in those companies, if at least as a leader, not just a manager, not just some engineer with bright ideas. I think that what those companies need is a real leader, somebody that people and customers can relate to, a little bit like we used to relate to Jobs. Jobs and Apple and Jobs, they were the same entity, really. And we love Jobs because we loved Apple. We loved Apple because we admired Jobs. It's something that I think is very needed in Tesla still. And I'm not sure that I completely agree with the fact that Tesla and Musk are two different things. I think today Musk and Tesla are still one thing. And the guy is a visionary, and he might have the best people working for him. If you don't have a visionary, especially in these times of extreme growth with very new product categories. They're not even new products. The car is not a new product, but it's a new category, a car that can drive itself, a robot that has the appearance of a person that can do stuff at home or in factory. That's a new category altogether. We know robots, we know cars, but those are new categories. And I think we need still to have a visionary, if not a leader, in this company if you wanted to really succeed in the future. The thing that maybe I might be in slight disagreement with you as well is to completely ignore the noise. I'll give you a very quick example, if I may. I can see at least one danger in what's going on with autonomy. Obviously, Tesla are making an enormous amount of progress very quickly and extremely important progress. But there's just, one risk concerning the autonomy is the approval of governments around the world. So I'll give you an example. In America, for instance, it's enough for the government to decide that to pass a legislation that autonomous vehicles are welcome on the road, but only if they have LiDAR or some sort of infrared sensor or something like that. And so I'm not saying that other companies are going to be better than Tesla. I'm just saying that suddenly Tesla is in a very bad position to be a market leader, because then they can't put their cars on the road. And it's not because they are not capable of doing the job. It's just because somebody decided to put some, stick in the wheel of the machine, and that's it. And Tesla is stopped. In the terms of legislation in Europe, for instance, it's enough that the European deciders, I don't know, it's called the European Commission or whatever it is, the European Union, decide that, Elon Musk is too left-wing, so we're just going to drag our feet for 6 years, 7 years. And they can do that. They don't care. It's an American product. Why would they care? On a different perspective here, I'd like to talk about the stock and the valuation a little bit. I think all of us are waiting for the stock to show its real value. And we all know that the stock really belongs to a different level today. Know that your price target for the end of the year is $515, if I'm not mistaken, 500 and something. You pinned it.
575.
All right. Okay. So I wasn't far, but yeah. So you pinned it, so it's impossible to miss. So anyway, I believe you're right. I believe that's really where the stock should be headed by the end of the year. But you see that every caprice that Elon Musk is having, it's affecting the stock market. There's nothing we can do about it, whether it reflects the real value of the company and the stock or not. There's nothing we can do about it. But what I'd like you to consider is the support that we gave to Elon Musk as a person, not just the CEO of the company in the past. When he he sold his shares to buy Twitter, and the stock went down. When he decided not to build the factory in Mexico, and we went like, yeah, all right, okay. So when he decided not to expand the number of vehicles to sell, when suddenly, there were people like Stephen McRyan, for instance, who built his thesis. If you just look at a few years back, 2-3 years back, the whole thesis of Stephen was basically to say, well, you know what, let's just prove that Tesla can build 20 million vehicles by 2030. And he had this very nice Excel spreadsheets explaining, how we're going to get there.
Yeah, that 20 million vehicles by 2030. It was something that I've said from the beginning was not going to happen. It's just not.
You're based.
Yeah,
true. You're based. I know. I see sometimes your video. I'm like, well, I wish you weren't so based. Just put a little bit of optimism in there. But you're based. But that's true. But a lot of people were actually, buying into this thesis now. Let's say it's not 20 million. Let's talk about 10 million. 12 million vehicles. If you don't build new factories and if you don't bring new models, affordable models, where are they? Where are they? I don't want a cheap Model Y. I want to see a real affordable model, maybe two. But Elon decided, well, we don't do that. We just go full autonomy. Nobody will care about cars in 50 years from now. Get real for the next generation. Well, yeah, but I bought the stock because I wanted it to go up, not because I want my kids to inherit it and buy coffee with it, So still we supported it because we think we understand this thing. Optimus is just fantastic. My head is spinning just thinking about the possibilities of Optimus. But you see, he's been so busy since you told him, a minute ago, you said that he was busy for 6 months. It's not really 6 months. He was busy before that. He was busy with the election. And now Optimus is, they stopped it, I think. There was something, they talked about I read on X, like everybody else, the news that Optimus was delayed by 2 months and that maybe there were mechanical problems and technological problems because of heating and so on and so forth. Where is he? He's supposed to be there on the floor of the factory. No, maybe I'm exaggerating. But he's supposed to talk to the wonderful team he's built to help solve those problems. We were sold Elon as this genius who comes and solves problems. So please come back, solve problems. Now, if we're really in a position where we don't need him in Tesla anymore because, whatever, he's got great team and he can find the right people. Okay, so everything is good. And even though I agree with, by the way, if you saw this post from Dave Lee, who had a wonderful interpretation of what's going on now, and we all realize that Elon was stabbed in the back. Basically, let's be honest about that. He was completely stabbed in the back. He was abused and thrown away like an old sock. And it's disgusting what has been done to him. Let's face it, humanly talking now, what he's gone through is absolutely disgusting. If he continues to go down this route, he's going to start hurting his companies. And I'm not invested in Elon Musk. I'm invested in Tesla. There are two sides to that. We can like the guy and empathize with him and admire his work and look up to him as a person. But at the end of the day, you put your money in the stock market. You want that stock to be worth something at the end. And that's it. I think that I don't know if I've got a question in that, by the way. Yeah, I'm not sure I've asked you something or if I just, it's my 2 cents and, they're probably worth 1 cent. But what I'm saying is that it's not logical as stockholders to blindly support Elon because we all like him. At the end of the day, the board in Tesla has a fiduciary duty to the stakeholders. The value of the stock basically is defined by the actions not only of the company, but by the perception of the company on the market, by the success of the products of the company on the market, by the speed at which they can improve the products, develop new products, bring innovation. And if Elon somehow, I'm not saying it's because he's doing something or not doing something, but if his actions somehow are hurting the company, then the board has to be there to protect the shareholders. And again, last word, really. I love Elon as a person. He's wonderful. I admire him. But now he's hurting the company really badly. He's had half of the country against him, brought the other half against him again. A whole continent, Europe, they're very socialist over there. They don't like him just because he's Elon, right? Just because he supported Trump. So nobody's going to support him over there, or the companies that are represented, if you want, by Elon Musk. So it's hurting us at the end of the day. And I don't think it's fair because we've been there every step of the way to support this guy, including the pay package, including everything that he wanted. We said, amen. Yes, of course, we believe in you. Now, I think he's crossed the line. I'll be honest with you. I think he's crossed the line. And thank you very much, Pejjy, again, for the opportunity to speak here. I hope I didn't put everybody to sleep. Have a good evening, everybody.
No, that was I mean, you had some interesting points, but I'll say this, for me, investing in Tesla, yes, Elon is important to the company. I'm not going to deny that he is. But my thesis, I guess you can say, you mentioned earlier that you do think Elon is Tesla and Tesla is Elon. But I don't see it that way. Because yes, Elon is needed to, I guess you could say fast track some of the stuff. At the end of the day, they have a very solid team working on the things that they need to do. Now, yes, do I want him to do this third party American party? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm not American. I don't know. And you're right. They did stab Elon in the back, but what was he expecting? This is politics. Politics always stabs you in the back. You vote for everything. You vote for whatever you wanted. Now with Trump, yeah, he did some of the stuff that he needed to do. He removed some of the woke stuff. Not some, majority of the woke stuff. He closed the borders. He increased a lot of investments. A lot of investments come to the U.S., which is kind of what he campaigned for. At the end of the day, you can never be friends with politicians, right? And Trump is not a politician. Like, he's a businessman. That's why I say Elon and Trump, they're on the same page. But because Trump is the president, he's a politician because of his position, and he has Congress to please, I don't think he has much wiggle room to do much. But I think behind the curtains, they are both friends. They both see what it is they need to do. But Elon knows that even if there's a third American party, he knows this, that if they even get any foothold or if they become some sort of influence, one day they will also backstab Elon. That's just politics. You just can't get away from that. So I think Elon knows this, and I think he's adjusting to that. So I don't think he's going to get involved. I think he's only going to do enough so he can do enough with the politics so we can get what the voters are doing without much consequence. Now, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know how that's really, really, twisted. I think that's what he wants. But for me, is that as long as Tesla is moving forward with their projects. Now, one thing you mentioned that was very interesting is that they could come out with regulations saying that, everyone who is doing self-driving must have some sort of lidar, something like that. But won't they do it already? If that was the case, wouldn't if they had to do if every car or every autonomous car had to have some sort of lidar, don't you think that Austin wouldn't have been approved or LA wouldn't have been approved?
Well, not
So I
necessarily. First of all, legislation takes time. I think that the idea of having a statewide, countrywide regulation for autonomous vehicle is very, very new. I think it's just the influence of Elon. And, nobody thought about it before. They would let every city or every state decide what they want to do with that. But in order to fast track the adoption of autonomous vehicle, I believe that Elon advanced the idea. Somebody said, you know what, okay, we'll look into it. And so now they might very well pass a regulation that says, well, you know what, all the autonomous vehicle welcome on the road as long as you have LiDAR. Why? Just because there are other companies that can do that, and there will be probably companies from abroad, I don't know, from China, maybe from Europe, who knows, if one day they can advance their technology over there. But, and just to piss him off, they can just pass the legislation and say, well, yeah, but you know what? Only if you have LiDAR, or only if you have some pre-mapped something in the computer or whatever, that I don't know how they can do that. But like you said, Pejjy, it's politics. I don't trust politicians. I think they are the same people that sit on a branch and cut the branch thinking they're going to bother the tree. They sit in a very comfortable office. Look at what they did with NASA right now. They cut the budget of all the projects that were on time and on budget just to keep SLS. Now, SLS is the biggest guzzler of money in NASA. But the reason they did it is because you have other companies behind that project. You have Boeing, you have Northrop, you have, I forgot now the name of the company that makes the engines. They're all big companies. They employ thousands of people. And just to keep those people employed, they keep the project that is not going to go and do anything, not technologically and not the point of view of the power of the country. The only reason they did it is because of politics. So if you trust politicians to make sound decisions in terms of what technology to advance or what company to support when it comes to the well-being of the country, you're more optimistic than me, really. A lot more optimistic than me. I'm not saying, by the way, that what I'm saying will happen, but it's enough that they don't even pass regulation. You know what? They sit on it for 5 years. To affect Tesla.
I get what you're saying. But I mean, and again, it's politics. It's hard to predict these things. But then at the end of the day, if politicians really want to hurt you, I'm sure they'll find ways to do it. But then it wouldn't make sense. But again, it's politicians. You can't make it sense. But yeah,
look, if
that,
everything made sense, Elon Musk wouldn't have been pushed to the corner in which he sits right now, right? Because $5 trillion ceiling, additional ceiling to the debt and stuff like that. All those things, no matter which way you look at it, they don't make sense. I think you and I can agree. I don't live in America either, by the way. So, I've got how to say that. I don't have a, how do you say that? I don't have a coin in the game or dog in the game, something like that. So
skin in the game.
Yeah,
Skin in the game.
The skin is the skin, right. So anyway, I don't have the skin in the game, yeah, and so I'm looking at it from outside, if you want. But a lot of those decisions don't make sense if you don't put that back into the context of political play. Then a lot of decisions do not make sense. It's not like I'm super pessimistic either. I love what you're saying. I think that indeed autonomy is going to play a huge role, of course, in America, for Tesla, maybe in the rest of the world. But if they find a way of at least slowing down the progress and the adoption of autonomy by one way or another, then you can't ignore, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a bear, but you can't ignore that there will be competition at some point. Even if it's not just, we all know the talking points. The talking points. It's not enough to buy a graphic card. We know the talking point. But then the competition buys time, which is basically what Tesla had. And that was the edge we had. The edge we had was a leader with a vision that pushed very hard and had time to get all the pieces together.
Yeah, well, I'll say this, is that if we think that, Tesla's going to have 100% of the robotaxi market, I know Elon was talking about 99% or something like that. I don't think that's sustainable. Maybe Tesla will have 50% or something, but we have to remind ourselves what happened to Microsoft, because Microsoft, like 20 years ago, when they had the first Windows software, the government stepped in and they say like, hey, you can't have that much market share. You need to, have a you need to have a competition. We're not like Canada, or we're not a socialist or communist country where only one company is gonna, take care of everything. Which is why I think other companies, I know Waymo and all those guys don't have a chance, but I think to keep the competition there, I think, I had a podcast with Joe, and he raised this point, and it was a very interesting point. He's saying that even though the chances of it are very slim, to avoid having a whole monopoly, right, in, I guess, the robotaxi market, they have to let Waymo in the market. Just like how, because if it wasn't, here's the thing with Apple, with Microsoft and Apple situation. Microsoft back 20 years ago, they had almost nearly 100% of all the, software market. They've had every computer that came out had Microsoft software on it. And then the government stepped in, they say, yo, you can't do that. That's, you're a monopoly. You have to expand it. Not expand it, you have to like allow other competition to do it. And Microsoft actually helped Apple. I don't know if you guys know the story, but Microsoft did give, or Bill Gates, when he was a CEO back then, he gave money to Apple to fund their iOS, whatever it is now. And now you have Apple and Microsoft and other players too in the software. Now, of course, Microsoft still has a good chunk of it, but you can't squash away competition. So if we're here thinking that robotaxi is going to be 100% all Teslas, no. Majority of it would be. I think maybe 50% would be because on how fast they can scale and, how the performance is compared to others, and cheap it is, of course. But I think to keep it not monopoly, even though that I think what's going to happen in hindsight when you have majority of them being Teslas, majority of robotaxis being Teslas, you're going to have other players in the market because they need to be there. So we can avoid the monopolization. Now, politicians getting involved and telling Elon or telling, let's say, as you say, Iman, they come out, they say that no, whoever wants to do robotaxi in the US, they must be able to have LiDAR or something like that. Okay, Tesla is smart, and I'm sure they can add maybe one little speck of LiDAR somewhere just to say that, yeah, we have LiDAR as well. Because this is Tesla. They are very smart. They are very ahead. And I think the team, or knowing how political Elon is, I do think they have a backup for that as well if it goes to that if it goes to that level, which I don't think it will, because first of all, you have the data that will tell you that, hey, this LiDAR stuff doesn't really work compared to what Tesla's doing. Now, again, when it comes to politics, they don't care. If they really want to hurt you, they can just say bypass it and say no. But that hurts them, hurts the country. That hurts the innovation. That hurts I guess you could say, the free market, because now you're not that free, because now politicians can come and invade whatever they think you're doing. That's not nice. Before you know it, if they actually do that, Tesla, because of their scalability, there's going to be robotaxis in China before the US. You think Trump wants that to happen? Do you think the politicians want to see American companies with FSD in China first with robotaxi? It's an American company, but it's happening in China first, but not in the US. It's happening in Europe first. It's happening in South Pacific first, but it's not happening in the US. That is very embarrassing for them if they do that. And they won't look good. It'll just be an example that, hey, America ain't really that free, because an American company is far ahead in a foreign country than the country themselves. So I don't think it's going to go to that extent. I really don't think. And if they do, I'm sure Tesla they'll fight it for sure. There's no doubt about that. The stock will tank a little bit for sure. But in the long term, the long aspect of things, I think it'll be okay. It just won't make sense to stop the most innovative company in the world. I just don't think that's possible unless they're trying to get at Elon. But then Elon is not just Tesla. It's SpaceX, it's Neuralink, it's it's XAI, it's a Boring Company. It's all these other companies that you want to stall because you don't like the guy. I don't know. That sounds really like you're shooting yourself in the foot. What I would do instead is that I would probably, if I was a politician, what would I do to Elon to stop him from mingling in the politicians? I don't know. It's hard to answer that question. But
don't give them bad ideas.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
worse, don't give them good ideas.
I think if we think about it logically and we don't get, think about it too fearful, I think we are much better than we're in a much better position than we are now. I don't know how this American Party thing, I really don't know how that's going to pan out, really. I know if that's the case, both sides of the parties are not going to like this. Americans, Canadians, sorry, not Canadians. What I'm talking about, Democrats and Republicans, they're both not gonna like this. So it'll be turbulent if he actually goes ahead and does this. But maybe, just maybe, it could be a blessing in disguise as well. I don't know. For me, what's important is that is Robotaxi and Tesla's full self-driving software continuing to progress, continuing to, make big leaps? Are they continuing? I mean, we have cars that are driving themselves right now in Austin, and they're looking to expand it all of Austin. And I think by end of this year, we'll have 500 to 1,000 robotaxis on the road, which is absolutely phenomenal. Are they continuing to grow like that? And if they are, which they are, then that's enough for me. Regulation, all that kind of stuff, it's all a political game that I do think that it will be bypassed one way or the other. And if it doesn't happen in the US, that is a big hit, but it will happen eventually. But we have other continents that Tesla will be operating in, which I think that's also very important as well.
What's
But
your
I don't
take
think
on China then?
China loves Tesla. They love Elon. I mean, we already have robotaxis going on there now, and I think within this year we'll have robotaxis in China as well. I think because
Yeah, you
I
believe
think
that
so.
it will happen this year? That would be
Yeah.
phenomenal if that happened this year.
That's what I mean. I think this year, I mean, China is going fast. They don't stop. The problem here's the problem with China versus the US when it comes to innovation. China is moving fast. Like they are quick. Like building a building takes them 10 times faster than what the US builds a building. It sucks for me to say that, but China, their innovation, their companies, it's and for crying out loud, their EV market, their cars are outpacing American cars. If it wasn't for Tesla, it would have been over. The all of the auto market would be China, and that's the future we're going towards, because Ford and all these other companies can't make profitable EVs. So China is going very fast, and I think by sometime end of this year there will be some big news when it comes to robotaxis. Right now, FSD is in China, and the videos are coming out. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. So I think by end of this year there will be some stuff going on with China with robotaxis. So I do think that. Fa, how you doing? I know the spaces was unexpected. I just say, you know what? Let's just do spaces today because of all the
Hello.
panic and fear.
I
How you doing, Fa?
I'm good. I saw it 290 and I panicked buy. I could not stop myself, so I did 15 share. Very nice. I want to talk politics a little bit because this is exciting. When at first I'm like, oh, Biden and Trump, this is like grandpa fighting. I don't want to hear about it. So I'm just like block myself off politics 100%. And then Elon endorsed Trump. And then I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. So I poke myself in and I listen to what he say, like close the border, reduce the inflation, reduce the energy price, not go to war, stop the war, be a peacemaker, and change the education system, kill the wokeness, no more pronouns. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm in with him. I even have a Make America Great Again, right? And then one day Elon is like, Trump is in Epstein file, have a good day. And then I'm like, oh my God, I need to throw away that hat. I need to fucking throw away that stupid hat. So I did. I throw away my hat. And we cannot stop looking at politics because the regulation. Elon Musk is all my money with him, so I have to like watch him like a hawk, right? You right? And I'm the big supporter. I support Elon. I stand with him. I think he's right. He's right. Usually 85% right. He's 95% try to do the right thing. And 5% he's just human. He cannot control his emotion. He's a little bit of like Asperger. He's like he cannot be like, oh, I'm angry, I'm gonna put my phone down and go for a walk. Like me, he cannot. He's just like, fuck you, you dumb fuck. Right? So all this, and now me and Pejjy have a space that we coordinate on Saturday. And I'm like, Pejjy, hear me out. Elon is a man of his word. He have a post and 80% say fuck yeah to his new political party. And he went and did it. And he just like announced it while we talking. So now I've been not sleeping. Pejjy, I should go to sleep. I tell you to have your sleep beauty. I didn't have sleep beauty at all this week. I'm like all in politics. Bring it. All that rant as a Tesla shareholder and as Elon is like, okay, you guys, robotaxi is alive. He posts on his profile, yeah, go try a full self driving. It give me back give you back your time, but most of his posts is politics. So if I your friend, if I'm your friend and I want something good for you, I say this is a time to buy it because everybody is like deep fear right now. The fucking deep fear right now. The left and the right, the media are just attacking Tesla right now. The more red it is more discount it is. If you believe that at full self-driving, the robot taxi, and the Optimus is a real thing. If you believe in Elon fiction, which is I do believe in it. Right now, even a Tesla bull, even a Tesla bull that I listen to, that I watch them, they're like, but we not sell car anymore. This is wrong. Why we need Elon time back? And I scratch my head. We don't pay him since 2018. He didn't get paid yet. The dude work for free. And now he see it. He see shit that you and me and everybody else don't see because we on TikTok and on X on time. He see that if America die, we all die. If America going bankrupt, all our money is worthless too. Elon went in and be the first buddy with Trump. He sleep on a floor in the White House, dodging the whole shit for like a while. So he see it. He see who in power. He see when you get in sit next to the president and look at the meeting, who actually read the script and who actually talk from their brain. You know, I think he have the insight enough that he say Trump is in the DT5. I think that is not emotional tantrum. But right now, today we see it. We got lying in our face, big time. That blonde lady, Pam Bondi, say, I got Epstein file. It's 1,000 page, and there's so many victims. We try to save the victim. That's why we're not saying anything. And today he say, it's no kind list. Epstein killing himself. What the fuck? Like the amount of gaslighting. This is why Elon is like, you know what? Let's have a new political party. And they're scared shitless. Trump have like long, like grandpa long essay message. Say he's sad about he don't understand why Elon go off the trail and this is a joke or whatever he say. I don't even bother to read it. And Elon is like, what is true social? So this is the beginning of the journey, my friend. I think for the long run, it's gonna be good for us. This is gonna be a half a decade or the decade work. It's gonna be 5 to 10 years. And Elon is so good at that. He saw vision. He have a visionary. He saw something like long time. Like we go to Mars. Just close your eye and be with me for a minute. Do you think if we bankrupt our country because we let the Congress and the Senate and the House get away with it? You think we're gonna have money to go to Mars? You think we're gonna have the space program? Do you think we're gonna have the money to fix the road? Do you think gonna have money to like pay for the fire department? No. All the money that we tax everybody is gonna go to the interest, and that is I'm excited. You can call me Fa is super optimistic. She's bullish. She crazy, Elon crazy fan girl. Could name me all of that. I'm check all the above. But I also want the best for all. I have children. My kid just turned 2. I don't want him to go to school with a bunch of wokeness. The teacher is maybe petrified or what. No, I don't want any of that. So I want someone to get into the power and actually make sense. This is me going cuckoo la la land a little bit. Give me another 2 seconds here. 2 minutes here. I think Elon gonna get the mega. The mega that is like what the fuck with Trump, you know? The mega is that all in mega because want to dot the shit out, want to clean up the government, want to clean the house, want to get the balance the budget, and let's don't make American go bankrupt. Elon gonna get that train of mega. Those people gonna be like, yeah, let's actually clean up the government. Let's not have a debt ceiling expand. I understand your message. And then look at the Democrat. The adopt rating, the agree, approve rating is at 19%. And those 19% is watching MSNBC. And it's gonna die. They're gonna die. And where is 89% of the Democrat America Party? It's gonna be super interesting year. 2025, stay healthy, go outside, go for a walk. Don't get too stressed out, you know. There's gonna be someone that cannot bear this. It's gonna be someone that cannot like go buy the stock at 484 because you think you're gonna see 711, you know. It's gonna be someone that, oh, I read the chart, it's go booming for sure. I used to be you. I used to wear that FOMO hat too. And it's fun, but it's okay. Investing is about journey. I believe you write it down. Just 5 lines. Hey, I buy it at 484 because, and I believe it's gonna go up. And then the day like this, you go read your journal. Oh shit. That was a bright day, isn't it? And then you learn and then you don't do it again. You don't dry all your powder too much. You keep some. And then day like this, that I'm so happy. I'm so sorry if I irritate someone. God, Tesla stuff. Why the robo taxi is alive for 291?
Sheesh. Yeah, no, that's as usual, fact going off like that. I love it. Look, yeah, I mean, when it comes to politics, it's very dirty. It's hard to see what the other opponent will do, but then you just have to think logically a little bit, even though politicians are not really logical. But when you look at it and you zoom out, take your emotions out, take your feelings out, and see how the progress is, how it's moving forward. You know, you think of the worst case scenario, the best case scenarios, all that kind of stuff, and you see what makes sense, what doesn't, and then you go from there. Now, when it comes to this bill that got passed, like 5 trillion, I don't know why there's a $5 trillion deficit. So if you guys can answer that, that'd be great. But I think what the guys behind the big beautiful bill, what they are saying is that, listen, if we do all these tax cuts, if we do all these activities, if we do all these spending and stuff, this is going to grow the economy big time, right? And Elon has said that there's only 1 or 2 ways that we can really exceed the 36 trillion debt, whatever it's going to be. I think it's going to be above 40 trillion actually in 2 years if this 5 trillion is slapped onto it, is through AI and robotics. Now, I don't know if the politicians sat down and they thought about this too, that, hey, look, if we do this, you know, the industry is moving towards that area anyways. They are growing at a fast rate. AI is going to really boost productivity and GDP, so we might as well spend. But the problem is that if you don't have the right, I guess you can say the politicians or whatever, what's going to happen in 3 years' time, 4 years' time, let's say 10 years' time, let's say GDP is going crazy, productivity is going insane. If you have the same politicians, they're just going to keep adding on debt because they can. Oh, GDP is growing, we have more money, let's spend it more. And, you know, that's kind of scary for a country that's going to keep on putting on debt, and then one day you're going to pay off this debt somehow, and that's going to be very scary. And you came up with a very good point, saying that with all these taxes, it's going to go straight to flipping interest, and that's very scary. That is absolutely very scary, and then you won't have money for anything. So it is important to not add on so much debt, or if you are adding on so much debt, have the growth to back it up so you can bring it down another, few years or so like that. But again, with these politicians, they're going to continue slapping on debt. So I get Elon's point. I get it. We want Elon alive. We don't want him to be assassinated or anything like that, but of course, with him doing this, there's going to be a lot of bad actors that don't want this to happen. So I hope he has the right amount of security that he can, be safe. That being said, I want to go back to what Iman said earlier. Iman, you mentioned something about Elon going back to Tesla and solving problems. But I think it's laid out perfectly for Tesla. Based on what's going on, it looks like they just want to solve the autonomy, the robotaxi stuff, and the Optimus. I don't think there's anything outside of that needs to be solved. And I think Elon is only heavily needed, no longer on the robotaxis anymore, because that is pretty much set. They have the team, they have the right person to do it, but it's just Optimus. So I don't think there's additional problems that Tesla can solve other than, I know he talked about solar and stuff like that, but that's already part of the mission statement. I'm pretty sure that the personnel and the people who are running the company, they're on board, that they're good to go. They're not always driven or looked after by Elon. I think they're already motivated enough. I think they are filled with purpose and the mission to do it. I don't think Elon needs to push them anymore because they've already have a very good roadmap and a road plan to go. And I don't think Tesla will, after Optimus, I don't think there's going to be another thing that they can do because those two markets, Robotaxi and Optimus, is going to be massive. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there will be. I don't know. But then you would need a very ambitious CEO who can run it afterwards, because I don't think Elon will forever be the CEO of Tesla. I think within about 5-10 years time, I'm sure he wants to focus on Mars. I know it sounds like science fiction, but this is Elon we're talking about. For me, with the noise and stuff like that, yes, there may be some short-term hurdle, and I'm surprised to see the Tesla stock is only down 7-8% today. despite this news. But I think people are realizing this, especially the analysts. The analysts, I think it was Dan Ives who said that majority of analysts are saying that, okay, wait a minute, this robotaxi is on the road, it's actually working. Let's see if this thing can actually scale. And then in Q4 earnings call, which I am really looking forward to, not this quarter, not the next quarter, but the quarter after that, is some sort of a guidance on robotaxi that can really boost the stock up. By end of the year, we should have about 500 to 1,000 robotaxis all over the US, unless there's some stupid politician that comes out and says, oh, no, we will not, do the lie. But I think they'll get bypassed. If not, in other countries, for sure, FSD will be approved and stuff like that, because the data is there. The data is going to tell them that, hey, look, this thing saves lives. It's 10 times safer, 20 times safer. If you don't accept it, you're doing yourself, you're not doing yourself a favor. So I think, the data would show, and it will get approved by over time and such. But no, honestly, guys, like, just don't get distracted. That's it. Keep your eyes on the prize. That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm viewing it. This will be noise. We'll look back 5 years from now and say like, oh wow. Now I don't know what Elon's gonna be in 5 years from now, but we will look back. It won't matter. I'll say this. Once robotaxis are everywhere and printing cash, we'll look back and none of this will matter. Cash flow will support the stock. Right now, what's supporting the stock is, okay, this product is coming. We're gonna price it in. How much is it gonna be? How much is it gonna grow by and stuff? All we need is a good, solid guidance from Elon and Tesla, and that's it. We could see this. Honestly, I mean, it's hard to say what the stock price would be by the end of the year. I'm thinking 575. Some people are talking about $1,000 per share, $700 per share. I mean, I'm sticking at 575. That is my price target for end of this year, only on the future growth of the robotaxis going into 2026. And of course, some other stuff as well. Energy, and because energy is going amazing. We're just gotta wait for the third factory to be opened up or to be built in Texas, Austin, wherever it is, but it's in Texas. That's gonna even boost that up even more. My message is that just relax, calm down. Everything's gonna be all right. Just watch the show. That's it. Just watch the show.
Grab the popcorn. Grab the popcorn.
It is exhausting to see Elon at this, but at the same time, when you zoom out and you look what's going on, is Elon really needed at Tesla? Maybe to push things around a bit faster, but how can I say it? Elon is a blessing and a curse for Tesla. I'll say this. Blessing that, okay, he's smart, he's a genius, he knows what needs to be done, he's always 10 years ahead, one step ahead of everybody, not just one step, few steps ahead, but he's an octopus. He likes to do many things. He likes to, if he sees a problem, he will go after it and do it. Not too long ago when Trump won, everyone was like cheering that, oh yes, Elon and Trump, they're gonna be friends and stuff like that. But I always knew that these two will have a fallout somehow. I mean, and it was quick. I mean, I thought it was gonna take at least a year, but it happened literally like not even 6 months.
It was obvious. With two characters like that, it was obvious.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Fa.
Well, we all see it reveal right now that Trump have some fault too. Like he can be bought. If you have give him some money, he will do the thing that you like him to do. Pardon, Trevor Milton, that kind of bullshit, right? And Trump is
that was ridiculous.
And Trump is in the deep oil money. He's all about oil money. He's all about gas and oil. And he saw how hard Elon worked to get him win Pennsylvania. Elon went over there and stay there for like a week. All this in our face, egg in our face right now. Like I told you, I throw away that stupid hat. If we take ourselves out of Tesla share, Tesla investor seat, but we become the world citizen, and then we look at America. I'm like, thank God that Elon f***ing Musk, because there's a hope that someone gonna fix something that is terrible, deep in trouble. The machine, the government in America is off. Not just American people, everybody in the world too, as a world citizen. And then you look at it, and it's such a no hope. Like Pejjy, you invest in America stock. Your money is depending on how America grow. And then if Elon not get up and do something, like Jeff Bezos, he just go off, marry the plastic person. Mark Zuckerberg just go surfboard and make a funny video. Like those people didn't give a shit about anyone's well-being. But we have Elon fucking much, which is he does. For all amount that money that he have, he can just go sit on the beach and have some Mai Tai and have some lady give him foot massage all day. That's what I would do if I have his money. But he's like, hey, let's go fix America. Like, I understand looking at our portfolio today is not fun. I'm in the Greenland, so I'm like, okay, I went through it, I passed it. Even it's go down to 150, I'm still in the Greenland, so I'm not care. It's not like I don't care. I understand him, and I got his back. Right now, when everybody is so pissed to see the portfolio went from 100% to like 65%, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my dear friend. If you have money, buy it. If you don't have money, hang tight. If you cannot sleep, go sell your stock. That's all it is. If you see value in Tesla, if you see the robo taxi become alive, don't get distracted. Stay the course. But if you like, fuck this shit, I shit my pants right now. This is diaper number 3. Sell your stock. Go buy some new diaper and go buy Apple. Don't worry about it. Nice knowing you. I think we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating that someone is care and someone rather do the right thing. Even mass majority, they do the wrong thing. And people just ignore the fucking bankrupt America. If America going bankrupt, and the bank run happen, we shit. All of us will shit our pants. It will happen. But someone is actually care and someone is actually stand up to do something. And that person happen to be the capable person. The shit that he do, like catching the rocket with a chopstick, shaking the whole EV industrial, put a chip in monkey brain and monkey can play video game and drink smoothie and make a tunnel under Vegas. And right now gonna go dig tunnel in Austin and gonna go dig tunnel in wherever they want him to be, the snail machine. Like we are lucky to have him. Be blessed, see things in a bright side. And if you bitching about you didn't buy enough stock, go buy it. All right. I know Pejjy tried to wrap it up, but I try to give people some perspective. It's not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Like it's always bad in the moment, but then when you zoom out, when some time passes, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as we think it is. Things always cool down, emotions calm down, and then we start regretting that. Oh man, I wish I bought more. Look. I'll say this: in about 5 years' time, when we have a crazy amount of cash flow coming in from Tesla's business, none of this is gonna matter. It's all the bottom line and top line. Elon can do whatever the heck he wants. He can be a politician if he wants, which I don't think he'll ever be. But if he wants to start 10 other companies, he wants to go live in Mars, whatever, man, the cash flow is coming in. The stock price is base. It's fundamentally strong. It's not going to matter what happened or what's going to happen. Is the cash flow strong and growing? That is it. And I do think that Tesla's going to have a very strong cash flow in the next 5 years or so with their other businesses coming right up. All right, so
Pejjy,
we do got to wrap this. Yes.
Do you mind just 1 minute? Because first of all, I want to say thank you for the dose of optimism that I got this evening. I think you brought a new perspective on looking at the stock. Just for the record, I wasn't depressed, maybe a little bit angry with Elon, but on the political side of things, first of all, great exposition of what's going on right now. Just maybe one little word like that, again, my 2 cents. When I look at Elon's successes, I realize that he surrounded himself with like-minded people, which are usually great engineers, great thinking people, down to the ground. But if he's going to want to succeed in politics, whatever angle he's looking, whatever angle he's looking at, he's taking, he's going to have to find like-minded people in politics. And I think that's where my optimism is less than yours, because finding honest people and intelligent people and visionaries in the field of politics, like he might well be, by the way, is going to be a big challenge this time. And as usual, he cannot, succeed alone. He's going to need a good team. But finding a good team in politics, that's where I think it's going to be difficult for him, really. But, hey, thanks a lot for the optimism anyway. And Pejjy, on a very personal note, I want to tell you that I love your content, man, and I'm going to carry on looking at everything you're doing and following you. And thanks for the opportunity to talk tonight. I hope I wasn't boring to everybody. Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you, Iman. Yes, no, a pleasure. Every Saturday we do, me and Fa and I, we do a spaces every Saturday, so you can join there as well, and you can also speak Saturday at I think it's 2 p.m. or Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's 2:30 p.m. Eastern time we do it, so you can join there. Okay, everybody, thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys calm down a little bit. Just relaxed a little bit. Don't get so emotional. Things are gonna be all right, and just keep your eyes on the prize. That is it. And if you guys ever feel like something bad is happening, I'm here. You guys can. I try to do daily videos every day. My point of view, my conviction is like a rock. So it's going to be whatever's gonna break it. It's going to be something very serious that'll break it. But I don't. It's been 5 years straight. Nothing has broken it. In fact, it's made it stronger because I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing how it's coming along, which is the robo taxis, and so don't get emotional. And if you do get emotional and you
Pejjy,
can't, you can't, 1 minute, if you can't, control yourselves, well, I'm here. It's gonna be all right, everybody. Yes, Fa.
Pejjy is open the therapy session for Tesla stock investor. I just want to put one note in before everybody go. Good night, wherever you are in the world. Elon is an alien. He's alien. He be able to do something that all of us cannot do. And if you're scared and don't want to put money in Tesla, I don't blame you. So hold your money tight. They're gonna print out 5 trillion more, and your money gonna go to inflate. Just hold it tight. But if you study Tesla, if you're just brand new to the stock and you're just like, what is this drama with Elon's shit show? Go look at Tesla and zoom out to the IPO 2009, 2010. It's been only 15 years. The return is about 28,000%. You hear me right? 28,000%.
Facts.
No one be able to do it. Like, it's only the Elon fucking Musk, and I love him, and he can go do whatever. By the time the new episode of Elon fucking Musk, he's probably gonna have baby mama number 47. Ay, good night, my friend.
Good night, everyone. Everything's gonna be all right. Take care. Bye.